This is Professor Antonio S. Marajas, and this is Advanced Digital Technique. We go now to flip-flop. Okay? So, flip-flop is defined as a memory element that stores a binary digit as a low or high voltage, meaning 1 or 0. It has two stable states. It remains in one state until triggered into the other state. Now, remember that when you say memory elements, these are components which are present in your computer, for example, or in your cell phone. So any other gadgets that requires memories. No? So for example, in your computer, there are two memory elements or storage elements. Now, we have the so-called external memory and you have the internal memory. Let's say, for example, for external, you have your USB, you have your hard disk, or your CD-ROM, no? And for the internal memories, you have your random access memory, or RAM, and the read-only memories, okay? So this type of memories, regardless of whether it is external or internal memories, are actually based on the principle of flip-flop. In other words, all the memory elements started with the principle of flip-flops. Okay? So, it says here, it has two stable states. It remains in one state until triggered into the other state. Meaning to say, if you have an output which is equal to 1, if you store a data in your flip-flop which is equal to 1, it can be changed to another value which is 0 if triggered using the input condition. And I will explain that in this particular discussion. No? So, the first type of flip-flop is the so-called RS flip-flop. This was the first flip-flop developed and later on improved into other flip-flops. Okay? So, what we have here is the symbol of an RS flip-flop. Okay? So, you have an input S, R, and then you have output Q and Q bar. Okay? So, output Q and Q bar. The output of RS flip-flop, which is Q and Q bar, should be opposite. No? So, for example, if Q is equal to 1, then the output Q bar should be 0 because Q bar is just the complement or the inverse or the opposite of Q. So, this is our truth table here for the RS flip-flop. And we have two inputs again, represented by R and S. So, these are the combination of values of your input R and S. Okay? Now, this is our output Q and Q bar. So, if both inputs R and S are 0, then the output of your Q is a no change condition. Meaning to say, if the previous output is 0, and when you put an input 0, 0 in your input part, which is the value of your RS, then the output remains 0. Okay? So, in other words, there is a no change condition. But if R and S is 0, 1, then the output is 1 or the output is set to 1. So, the data stored in your memory element, in this particular case, the RS flip-flop, will be 1. And the output Q bar, which is the opposite of Q, will be equal to 0. If the inputs again R and S is 1, 0, then from the previous output, which is 1, it will be triggered into another state, which is 0, because of the input R and S, which is 1 and 0. Okay? So, from the previous output, which is 1, once an input R and S are inputted, which is 1 and 0, the output Q will be changed to 0 state. So that is based on our definition. It remains in one state. It remains in one state until triggered using the input here into the other state, which is now 0. Okay? So that is our conditions R 1 and S is 0. The output is 0. But if both inputs are R and S are 1, then there is what we call a race condition. Okay? What do you mean by race condition? So race condition is actually there will be two, since the value of your input R and S are 1, then they will race together for a particular output to be produced. No? That is why the race condition is prohibited. Why? Because it leads to unpredictable operations. With the race condition, you will not be able to determine the exact output of your Q. It could be either 0 or it could be 1. That is why in RS flip-flop, the condition value of R and S, which is 1, they are what we call prohibited. Okay? So let's have a logical circuit representation of your RS flip-flop here. No? So this is our logical circuit representation. This is what is inside our symbol. Okay? So we have RS, NOR, latch. How do we arrive with this particular table? So initially, without your inputs here, R and S, your output Q has initial value of 0 and 1. Okay? Why 1? Because it's simply the opposite of 0, which is 1. The opposite of Q is Q bar. So if Q is 0, then that means that Q bar is 1. Okay? Now, if we have R 0 and S is equal to 0, okay? So if you notice that this area here is 1, no? This is connected here. This is 1. So 0, 1, OR gate is 1, invert that, it becomes 0. So since this is 0 here, so 0, 0, and gate is 0, invert that, becomes 1. So if you notice that your output Q from 0, it remains 0. For Q bar 1, it remains 1. That is why we call it the no change condition. So whatever is the previous output remains. Okay? So that will be our first condition. Now, if you have R is 0 and S is 1, this condition, okay? So you have 0, 1 is 1, invert that, this becomes 0. So if this is 0, this will also be 0. So you have R is 0, 0, 0 is 0, invert that, this becomes 1. So from a previous output, which is 0, it becomes 1 because of the presence of your input 0 and 1. Muna siya ang patumpasabot sa atong definition. It has two stable states. It remains in one state until triggered into the other state. No? So from previous value, which is equal to 0, it becomes 1. Nga naman siya? Because of your inputs 0 and 1. This one here, this condition, triggers your output to become 1. Okay? So, muna siya ang atuang definition. Now, if your input now is 1, 0, okay? So, R now is 1 and S is 0. So, what happened? So, if this is now 1, this is now 0. You have 1, 0 is 1, invert that, this becomes 0, no? So you have 0, 0 is 0, invert that, this becomes 1. So again, with this condition, from the previous output which is 1, it becomes now 0 because it was triggered by this particular condition. So from 1, it becomes 0. Okay? But however, if both inputs are 1, okay, so if you notice here that you have 1, 1, 1 is 1, invert that, this becomes 0. So 0, 1 is 1, invert that, it's still equal to 0. And this is not possible because Q here should have, Q bar here should have a value which is opposite to your Q, no? And this value here which is 0, 0 is not possible. That is why it is prohibited. The condition 1, 1 is prohibited. No? We will not be using the condition in your RS flip-flop. We will not be using the condition 1, 1 because again it is prohibited. Why? Again, because it will not provide us with the exact value of your output Q. That is why you have a race condition. So let's have here an example on how to interpret or use our table for the RS flip-flop. Okay? Now, before that, if you notice that in your RS flip-flop table, for as long as R and S have different values, then we can say that S here implies Q. What do you mean by that? That means that whatever is the value of your S becomes the value of your Q. For as long as R and S are different. No? In this case, you have here 1, 0, S implies Q. 0, 1, S implies Q. But if R and S have the same value, in this case 0, 0, then the output is no change. If 1, 1, then the output is a race condition. Okay? Now, let's go back to our timing diagram. Let us determine now the output Q and Q bar for this particular inputs. Okay? So we call this the timing diagram. These are the value of your R and these are the values of your S. So you have here, in this particular area, you have R is equal to 1 and here S is 0. Okay? So we start at 0, for example. R is 1, S is 0. S implies Q. Since S is equal to 0 here, that means that the output Q here remains 0. So when it reaches this particular area, okay, so here you have 1, 0, it will remain 0. Here you have your R goes down, that is now 0. 0, 0, what's that? 0, 0, it's a no change condition. In other words, the output will remain as 0 until it reaches this particular condition. Okay? So your R here is 0 and S now is equal to 1. So, since they have different values, S implies Q. The output Q should be equal to 1. So, since S here is 1, the output Q should be equal to 1. Then, the same here. 0, 1, still 1. Then, here, the value of your S changes from 1, it goes down to 0. So, the value now of R and S are both 0. If both are 0, again, no change condition. So, if the last value of your Q is 1, then it remains 1 until such time that this particular area here is reached, no? So, in this area here, your R becomes 1, your S is still 0. So, S implies Q because R and S have different values. S implies Q. So, since S is equal to 0, then your Q becomes 0. Okay? Then, parehas lang yapon dira. 1, 0. So, it will remain 0. And then, when it reaches this particular area, you have already R is 0 and S is 0, then you have again a no change condition. So whatever is the last value of your Q remains. Okay? Then it reaches this condition. You have R is 0 and S is 1. You have two different values for R and S. S implies Q. So, since S is equal to 1, then Q becomes 1. Okay? Then, the same here. When it reaches this particular area, R and S are both 0. So, no change condition. Then, in this area, your R becomes 1 and S is 0. So, S implies Q, which is 0. Then, it remains here until such time that this particular area is reached. You have R is 0, S is still 0, then this is a no change condition. So, this will be our output Q timing diagram based on the value of your R and S, which is this particular values. So, for Q bar, it will simply be the opposite of Q. Okay? So, let me erase this one. So, what will be your Q bar? Q bar will be, if we start at 0, so in Q bar, we start at 1. And then when Q becomes 1, your Q bar becomes 0. So, opposite na gid silang duha. So, this will be your timing diagram for Q and Q bar.